after you. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't ever be sad. Yeah, don't ever be sad, And you feel so good and humble that your kids are there for you.
Yeah. That's
and
amazing.
feel so fortunate. Feel
Yeah.
so fortunate.
Yeah.
Shukar.
Hi, welcome to Midlife Mom Chat. Today's guest is Khairunissa Damani. I have known her for the last 3 or 4 years. She's recently moved to LA. And I'll let her tell us about you, a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Manu.
We just met. This is what we do.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, I'm Khairunissa. Thank you for this invite. I am a nurse by profession, but most of my work has been in teaching area. So I have been in teaching students in university, and lately, I finished working with university in Pakistan. I have taught graduate students as well, and it has been a wonderful experience. You learn so much being a nurse and also a teacher to nurses who are already married at graduate level. They're studying, they bring a lot of experience. So it has been a very good experience. And in 2022, I moved from Tanzania to LA.
So cheers
Again.
to that. So that's a huge move from Tanzania. So our mocktail today is a strawberry lemonade spritzer. And since you're from East Africa, Khairunissa, I have made chana bhatura, which is like chickpeas, potatoes. So
Wow. Beautiful.
It smells.
It's
Probably
so
not as
good.
good
Wow.
as
It's so
you
good.
make it, but I have.
No, it smells so
Do you
good,
make this
delicious.
actually?
I do.
You do, right?
Yeah.
Well,
And we add some chips on top
yeah,
of
that's
it.
what we did too. I don't know if I have
And
any.
then some chutney, then that tamarind chutney, and then
Oh,
it
I have
makes
that
perfect.
too. I don't, we'll see if we have some potato chips. We're gonna do that later.
Yeah.
And we'll share the recipes for these things.
Thank you. So, and then, since 2022, I have been here, and the move was made for our kids. Both of them, they studied in US, and initially they had planned that they would go back and return, give back to the countries from where they came. I think their mind changed.
Can I ask how old your kids were when you moved?
Danish, my firstborn is a boy, Danish, and he is right now 30, so he was 27.
Okay.
And Rufeda, the second-born, my girl, she was 24.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the reason that we made a move, because they were not planning to come back, and we were like, leaving without them was also not a good way of living. So we decided that as a family we should be living in one place, and that's how I am here in LA.
Yeah. Wow.
This is about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So we'll get into our questions now, and then obviously we'll hear more about what you're up to.
Yeah, I have so many questions. I'm like, okay, wait for the questions.
I know,
Wait for the real ones.
I know, I have so many questions too. Anyways, so Khairunissa, if you could sit down with your younger mom self, what would you tell her?
Great question, right?
Yeah. So what have you learned and wish you knew when you were younger?
One of the important thing that I think about is giving freedom to kids when they are still young, right? I'm also young. As a young mom, I was controlling my kids, what they have to do, what they don't have to do. Giving them that liberty of making small decisions that are not harmful or not hurting them. I think we are overprotecting them. So young moms actually can give some freedom to the children when they're still young, and help them build that confidence. And but surely we have to make sure that it's not spoiling their habits. They are not getting into those peers pressures where that's gonna slow them down in terms of their academic career or their grades in schools, etc. So you have to have that balance. I learned that from my friends who were already older. So they told me that don't control your kids so
really?
much. Yeah, when we have this community where we go every single day in our mosque. So that mosque also serves as a social place, and there we have a lot of exchanges in terms of our ideas, our thoughts. Some of the problems that we may have, we are able to share and we get some guidance.
Right.
Especially in Pakistan, we have got big Jamaat. Many people come to mosque, and they, it's not like America where culturally you don't give any advice to people unless they ask. But in Pakistan, they see some of our conversation between mom and children or dad, mom and children. They would come and say, hello, how about doing it this way? Don't do this or do this and do that, That's how we have grown up. That kind of the community in which my children have grown up, and they have met friends, and they have socialized in those situations or circumstances. So they have a broader thinking as well, and more challenges. When they have broader thinking, that brings up more challenges.
Right.
So being the young mom, when you are also working full time, like you are out of home from 8 to 5 or 6, you also want to make sure that your interaction with your kids is gonna impact the relationship. So you have to be very careful. So being new moms, I sought advices from my friends who were older or who had kids bigger in age. So that was helpful. So one thing that I mentioned is about giving them freedom of making decisions, even if it means a small decisions, like you give them pocket money and you ask them, how would you like to use this, or
Right.
spend the money. So one time I remember my son bought something called supari, the betel nut. It's called betel nut in English. So he went to this store, and he was only 6. And he went there and he bought for himself and his friends, and then I came to know from the shopkeeper, because that was our usual shopkeeper from where we used to buy our things, and it was close to the mosque in Pakistan, in Karachi. So he told me, how come your boy bought this today?
So it's kind of like I don't want to call it chewing tobacco because it's a lot milder than that.
Yeah, this is not that bad.
Yeah, but
Just it's
it's
something
not something that you
sweet.
would have.
So you just suck on it and then you throw it.
Okay.
And 6-year-old won't know, but
Yeah.
others were having that, so maybe he saw them
Okay.
chew on it,
Yeah.
so he must have got attracted. Then he came home and we had a fine discussion, and I was so angry and I was so upset. That is another thing that I would like to tell young moms, that when you are so angry and so upset, don't talk to your children right away. Take time to relax, reflect on the situation, and create a scenario in your mind that how you're going to deal with this situation. So, and I was so angry, and I spoke to him, and he said that he lied to me also, that no mommy, I didn't buy. And I'm like, that doubled up my anger. And then I had a candle like this, but not in the bottle, and I literally put 2-3 drops on him, and he, up to now I regret about it, that that as a young mom should not have been the way to deal with your children. So
Right.
young moms should, I think from the experience I had, take time to reflect. Don't get upset, angry. They are so young, they don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing, right?
Yeah.
So, but you being young and you are still like under pressure, and this is something harmful, and how come your kid got into this? Relax, reflect, and then talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's something.
That is difficult. And then it was just a question came to mind. I mean, how has that affected your relationship today? Do you think that has had any effect on your relationship with your kids today?
No, it has become stronger. In fact, you know why?
Really? Okay.
Because when he came here in university and they had to take English, one of the courses was in English, and Danish had to write an essay, and he wrote in his essay, and he described this whole story of what went.
Oh, about this.
Yeah,
one
so he
incident
had
you
not
talked about.
forgotten, right? So he went through all that. He wrote to me and then shared the story with me, and I cried. I cried so much that you know how I did that. But you know the good thing about being mom and kids, that you know you make up for what mistakes we make. So I have a very open relationship or communication with my children. If I'm upset, if there is something to talk about, we talk about it. So I think as we grew, as they grew, and I as mother, you know, we developed that kind of relationship eventually, that they would not hesitate to tell me anything that goes in their life, or even me, I share my emotions, how I spent my whole day at school, university, and you know they appreciate it, that you know parents, and even Aziz, my husband, has played such an important role. In fact, when I went for my studies to USA, when my kids were only 2.5 and 5 years old, I had to leave them to my husband
you go?
and my
Sorry.
mother-in-law.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where did you go for your
Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
I went to Minnesota, University of Minnesota, for my master's for 1.5 years. So mom and my mother-in-law and my husband took care of
So
them.
you were in the States
Yes.
alone, and they were in
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my husband has really taken good care of them, both of them. So you know, he was the primary mother, I would say, and then I was in a father's role, and he was in a mother's role, taking care as well as working. So I think we developed a very strong bond between us, and even to date, our relationship, that's what is very strong. They are there for us, we are there for them.
Can I ask you, were you raised in that similar environment, in those similar ways of
values? And
Yes,
values?
Certainly. Like,
Yeah.
if I tell you, you may not even believe. The parents' side, you know, my father was the youngest brother of 5 brothers, and all these 5 brothers used to live in one house, and every uncle would have each uncle had like 8 to 9 kids.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and we were 6 siblings.
72.
So and then more, and their own children. So we were almost like 80, 90 people. Yeah,
in one house.
5 houses, and then within
Like
that,
compounds.
compound, and we would just go to each other's places, and we didn't have the concept of living separately. Like, you know, even if the brother got married, they won't leave home. You know, we all will be still living together. So we live I lived in an extended family, and I saw how people take care of each other, how one has to be compassionate, how one has to be more caring and concerned. So, you know, it was not that hard for me to even have mother-in-law, or even my sister-in-law. She was not married then. We got married, one of them. So it's part, like, you know, I don't believe in living separately, although at this stage I told my daughter, just go away, have your own home, you live yourself, you know. So.
Wow, that's interesting, because I feel like a lot of the ways that I'm raising my kids is from the lessons that I learned when my parents were raising me, and kind of providing them in different ways, emotionally, and just kind of being more present. Because my parents, when they were growing up in the Philippines, there wasn't that, you know, warm and cozy and fuzzy kind of feeling and embracing and I love you, at least not in their families. So that's kind of what I grew up with. But I also knew the difference and what I wanted but couldn't ask them for, because it's kind of like, okay, never mind. But I promise when I have kids, I will, I will embrace them, I will love on them. and I will talk with them in the same way that you talk, you know, you're speaking. It's just like the patience and everything. It's that extra amount of consciousness about raising your kids that I don't feel I entirely grew up with. So I was just wondering how it influenced you, how you were
And I
raised.
think the education that we go through, you know, it talks, especially in nursing, you know, we talk so much about emotional intelligence. So, you know, we are not just focused on the academic side, just like on the studies or, you know, very grade oriented mindset. We don't have that. We bring in the emotional aspect, how one can be a little bit more tolerant, how one can extend friendships with people who are not similar to you or who don't look like you, you know, in Tanzania especially. And my kids were only 5 and 7 when we moved to Tanzania, you know, so it was a cultural differences that they saw, but they made such good friends, you know. Today they have got too many African friends, and they cherished that, you know. So as a family, I think young moms or any moms, you know, middle age also, they can always bring about that change in their perspective, in their understanding, and not to limit the human connections to specific kind of cultural people only, but extend, go beyond that as well. So emotional intelligence aspect is also kind of very important to have a sound grounding of our kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's a unique way to look at it. And I mean, it's unique that you have that perspective just because of your nursing education and stuff, right? Because I don't think my parents were very emotionally intelligent. I mean, you know.
And we may not have used that term though when we were bringing up our kids.
No.
But our actions and our, I think, way of dealing with them demonstrated some of these characteristics. And babies and children are so observant, and they like to imitate some of your qualities, right? Or your characteristics.
Yeah, my parents were very warm and loving, and they said "I love you" every day, and we had that. But
that's why you're so kind and humble. I see that because, you know, it's not artificial. It just comes so naturally from you. So that's wonderful. Yeah.
So, so now that your kids are more independent, and you told her Faye that to leave, get her own place.
So good, right?
What do you? Yeah, I mean, but sometimes you have to do it, and that's not an easy thing to do. What are you learning or relearning about yourself? Because I think as they're growing up, we're all so focused 100% on the kids. We kind of forget about who we are and what we want. And I don't know. I should speak for myself. I did that maybe.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to.
Yeah. I thought, you know what, she will get more independence and I'll get some more independence, you know, because we were so occupied with the household work that, you know, was hardly finding time for self-reflection or me time.
Right.
And I'm like, is this what I want? You know?
Yeah.
And it's not that they were burden on us or they were totally dependent on us. They were doing their own affairs. We were doing our own affairs, but still we thought probably, you know, living separately might give more free time, will help us achieve things that I planned or as my husband and I had planned. But in these 2 months, it's still too early to speak because only in March we moved. So.
But I mean, your kids have been older for some time, right? Where you haven't had to like clothe them as you had to do less as a mom.
Yeah.
I mean, so
way less. Though. Yeah, way less. But you know, living together was also kind of taking up on some of the responsibilities like house cleaning, keeping the house clean, cooking, etc. So you know, it was like taking away more time.
I see.
And we had so much house help, you know, in Pakistan as well as in Tanzania. And here you have to do everything on your own. So it was a little difficult. And I thought probably I'll study because I took early retirement and I thought probably I'll study when I'll be on my own, right?
Yeah.
So I enrolled myself in integrative health practitioner
Something real
course.
simple.
Yeah, something simple online. I can do things on my
She's
own.
being sarcastic.
Yeah, like
That's
chemical
very good.
engineering.
That's-
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
very-
like,
yeah.
how do you still
That's
have any
amazing.
more room in the brain to fit the information?
I'm struggling.
Yeah.
You're right. So I enrolled in that particular course, and I thought I'll have a lot of time, and I want to do some coaching and give some help to patients, in a holistic manner, because this particular course prepares you for providing care in a holistic manner, and not just the allopathic way where now the physicians they treat their patients. So I enrolled, and so far I haven't even completed my first
That's
module.
okay. That's okay. You're doing it.
Yeah, just to have that thought. and
We'll
to
wait.
just take
We'll
it.
wait.
Thank you. Yeah, so I thought I want to do something. So yesterday my daughter came home and she's like, how far have you reached in your goal? And I was like, I haven't even moved up yet. So what was the point of living us separately? Better we could have lived
funny.
together.
It's a process. It's a process.
I said, wait,
Yeah.
it's still new. And then my mother-in-law fell, so got a little occupied with her as well. So that was one of my goals. And then secondly, I thought probably I'll do some voluntary work, either going to the hospitals and spend maybe a few hours there. But I haven't been successful. I haven't had time to actually do a little bit of research and then work on that particular endeavor. So I'm still waiting. But your kids, when they grow up, they take the role of being a parent now, that I see. They will advise you, do this mom, do that mom. And one time I told my daughter, when I'm gonna be living separately, at least I don't have to listen to you guys.
Your instructions, your mothering. The tables turn, right? Ironically.
Yeah, do this, don't do this.
I don't wanna. No, I could say I don't wanna.
I tell them.
Why?
And then the argument
Uh-huh.
continues, and I'm
I
like,
can't wait.
oh, leave it.
Yeah, adult kids.
But they
are-
have matured so much. I see them
they're amazing. kids,
amazing
so,
kids.
Yeah.
Amazing kids. Yeah.
So nice.
Okay, we'll go to our last question here. So, what does the next chapter of life look like for you, and what are you excited or nervous about?
I'm excited about doing things that I didn't do when I was young or when I was working, in terms of reaching out to the community, doing something more for them, because that also brings satisfaction to me. So it's give situation, win-win situation. And nervousness is about the physical disability that may happen to me. What will happen then, For us, we were there for our grandparents, parents, in-laws, but with the changes and the culture that we live in, we don't know whether kids would be there for us if we need them. But I frankly talk to our kids, openly talk about it with my kids, and my kids, they will say that, Mommy, don't worry, we won't put you in the nursing home. We are here, we will look after you. Rufaida especially, she always give me this reassurance that don't worry about it, I'm there, I will look after you. So that gives some kind of comfort. And then I told her one day that, what if I go mad? When I have dementia, for example, I won't know what you're doing to me. At least maintain my dignity. Sometimes we do things that ruins your dignity. So unconsciously, I feel I'm already, behaving certain manner.
Yeah.
So my daughter will tell me, don't worry, I'll do whatever is needed to keep your dignity. I'll give the respect. Don't worry about it. So just knowing that is also very comforting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing to have that conversation, right? So openly, and
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a conversation that, I don't know, is it needed when you know that you've raised your kids a certain way and so closely, like is there a trust that I'll be okay? Or is it like affected by this environment of like, okay, once you're this age, you go to another place where you don't know.
100% confidence in them.
yeah.
Yeah, 100% confident.
Right.
And they talk, because we know how genuine our conversations are. And there have been incidences where they have come up and protected us and have given us, comfort. So we know those things won't happen.
Yeah.
They're not just saying for the sake of saying it.
Yeah.
Even my son-in-law, the daughter-in-law, they're still, we are building a relationship because they both got married recently. But we know it. The children, they're genuinely saying what they're saying.
Yeah, I almost feel like they're not, or I don't even worry about the how. It's just an innate feeling of like,
Yes,
don't
that's how I
worry,
feel.
we're just going to
Feeling.
kick into action when we need to.
When they need
Yeah.
to, they'll show up. And my
Right.
kids I think they've always shown up whenever it counted.
need
My
it.
oldest daughter is in New York. My son is in Riverside. My youngest is here in LA. But yeah, anytime something happens, they're always here. And I'm also 100% certain that when the time comes, they will, because they've seen us take care of our parents
Yes,
and
yes.
our in-laws.
Yeah. And one time when we had, robbery at our place, at the old house, so I was like, all my jewelry, Asian women, especially our culture, where we collect a lot of gold jewelry, all gone, just like that. So, my son, I was
Like
so
heirloom
sad.
stuff.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
And my son is saying, I'm your blind check. Why you worry? Don't worry. Whatever you want, I'll get you. Tell me what you want now. I'll get you right away. Why? Why you become sad? That's fine. I'm your
That's
blind
so
check
sweet.
and I'm there for you. So no worries about your finances. Don't worry about how your ends will meet. Don't worry. I am here. Even Rufaida, she tells me that, Danish is doing little bit better in terms of finances because he has his own company. He's the CEO of his own company and he's also doing few other stuff here and there. Rufaida is also like, I'll take full care of you, okay? Danish will bring the finances, I'll look after you, so don't worry.
We've got the
Don't
basis
ever be
covered.
sad. Yeah, don't ever be sad, And you feel so good and humble that your kids are there for you.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
amazing.
feel so fortunate. Feel
Yeah.
so
yeah,
fortunate. Yeah. Sugar.
Sugar. Cherry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for sharing so openly and honestly. Anything else you want to share? And then we're going to have our lightning round.
I'm done. I have oversaid it.
You said a lot of
Yeah.
wonderful things that
Yeah,
I've
there
learned
was some
from.
oversaid.
Wow.
Gems there, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Here's the fun part.
Oh my
Not
God.
that wasn't. Not that was amazing, but
Yeah.
we're just going to ask you 6 quick questions. Don't have to think about it too much. They're supposed to be fun. So let's go. Yeah, I know. Number 1. What's your go-to I'm too tired to cook meal?
Go to any restaurant you want to go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Works for me.
Yeah, it
What's your
works for
favorite
me.
restaurant? Fast food?
Thai.
Thai?
Thai.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
love Thai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. The noodles. Thai
Yeah.
noodles are my favorite.
The soups also, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The
the-
ka
yeah.
soups.
Now
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry.
Okay, what song always gets you dancing even when your kids roll their eyes? It actually makes them roll their eyes.
Actually, it's not the song. I said Guinness and they would just do like that. Some of the religious that we
Okay.
sometimes, yeah. Finish.
Like
You
hymns.
the hymns. Always you want to sing that.
Are you dancing with it? Are you?
No, just
okay. So it's
just like the body movement.
Okay,
and
yeah.
You're into
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah. There goes mom.
There
There
you go.
Okay. Okay. What's your dream vacation now that you don't have kids and people to worry about as much?
Haven't thought about that though.
You should.
You're like, my life's a vacation. Every day I wake up.
Maybe go on Alaska cruise and spend a week. That's
Yeah.
it.
All you do, you just eat. You go upstairs from your room, you eat, you go back downstairs. I mean, it's beautiful.
Have you gone?
I've gone to a cruise to Mexico and
To Mexico, yes, but I
That's
haven't
easy.
gone to
Not
Alaska.
That's
so
a whole,
want to
yeah,
just-
yeah.
that's a dream.
Probably.
bucket list.
Before the glaciers
Yeah.
disappear.
That's another.
And
topic.
another time, I've been to Banff but I would like to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You like the mountains and
Mountain
the,
rocky.
the air.
Are you an outdoors person?
yeah. And we do a lot of hiking. Every Sunday we are out with our kids.
Yeah.
Our children, they're into hiking.
Yeah.
They take us to the, a beach. They say just push us out of home. They just want
that's
us to be out, especially weekends. So they just say go.
Yeah. Have you
We
been
are
to
together.
Utah? Have you been to Zion?
No.
It's really
That's
pretty
beautiful,
hiking.
yeah.
Great hiking there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just go here.
Yeah.
By, right?
Local.
Yeah.
Local.
Well,
Very local.
You're gonna have to tell me what trails you go to around
Yeah,
here.
I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your superpower?
My husband.
Oh, that's sweet. Does that mean you make him do that?
Yeah, no, that's what I heard. I got that too.
Something secret.
Okay, biggest pet peeve.
Biggest?
Biggest pet peeve.
You have to have one. Everybody does.
What just irks you?
I can't think of. Oh, man.
See the end.
Yeah.
Danish brings his dog right at home, and I'm like, he goes in the backyard and poops, and I'm like, oh, Danish, come please, clean it up. I can't take it.
So that was
You're
it.
like, that's poop. That
That's
is
a
nothing
literal
you
pet
ignore.
peeve.
Yeah, that's a big deal. All right, one last one. If money were no object, what would you be doing right now?
Jewelry shopping.
No, lost interest, I know. But I think I would be feeding homeless people.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking to them, going to the library, talking to the kids, taking them where they want, to just help them achieve whatever small dream that they have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
yeah.
That's a
It
good one.
fills their heart and it fills.
I go to the library, and then I see them and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
they have the whole,
Life there,
life
yeah.
there, and what can we do to make their life better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Yay. All right. Well, that's
That's that.
that.
Thank
that
you.
was fun.
And
That was
until next time. See you later.
Thank you for having me. Thanks.
Okay.